You're moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, and you click this because you want to hear about all of my pain points so that you know exactly what not to do. Better yet, you know what to avoid to allow your experience to be a little bit better than mine. Now, honestly, that's pretty harsh, but I can't really blame you because what better way is there to learn from somebody else's mistakes so you don't make the same? So in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to cover. We're going to cover the things that I regret not doing before moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. So with that being said, let's get after it. What's going on, everyone? It's Polynice here, and if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Now, while I have your attention, make sure to hit the subscribe, like, and the bell so you are notified every time I do a video sharing with you exactly what it's like to move and, better yet, live in Raleigh, North Carolina. Just as much as I enjoy making these videos, I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina, and I would love nothing more but the opportunity to be able to assist you with any of your real estate needs. So with that being said, my number is going to pop up right there. Make sure to give me a call, text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. I got your back in this market. So one of the first things that I really wish I did a little bit more when I first visited Raleigh, North Carolina was explore like a local. Please use this to your advantage. Do as much research and on the ground that you can, because it will help you identify what areas to be closer to, what to stay away from. And I think using channels like this, right? The channel is called Living in Raleigh, North Carolina for a reason, because all we do is talk about Raleigh, North Carolina. But using this channel to really explore and understand what it feels like, what is there to eat around, or where do people even hang out, seeing Raleigh, North Carolina through the eyes of a local, that's essentially what you're going to want to do. That's one of the things I really wish I did way more. Granted, when I did visit, I did do that. I just didn't do as much as I should have because, again, I didn't know if I wanted to be there. So I think moving with that intention of, hey, this may be a high potential of where it is I want to be, I would have had a lot more intention with just talking to individuals, walking, and kind of figuring out more about the city in itself. But nowadays you guys have that luxury that I don't think was existent back then, of being able to see, being able to hear about what a city is through the eyes of a local. Better yet, just without having to leave your home. I mean, that right there is extremely powerful. So take advantage of this. Kudos to you for even watching this and sitting down and understanding, hey, this is the type of research that you need to do in order to understand, is Raleigh, North Carolina even a place where you want to be? Because ultimately, what's going to happen is when you're exploring, when you're doing your research, you're going to build some sort of foundation of, hey, what is there to do there, and have a better understanding of if you should be here or not. Because essentially, it's going to be your day-to-day lifestyle that you will be operating here in North Carolina. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't say when you move here, because I know you will. But this will essentially help you with your sanity and making sure that you know that you made a good decision for you, yourself, your family, whoever else is tagging along. Trust me on this. You're going to want to do those few things, and even a few questions that you can ask individuals or kind of keep on top of your mind as you're doing your research and just trying to figure out what's going on in the area is, where do locals hang out, whether it's during the week, weekends. I mean, I'm gonna preferably say the weekends just because that's when everybody typically goes out. And in that scenario, I'll answer it for you right now just so you have it. But downtown Raleigh, North Hills is a really big place that people go out and hang out. Glenwood, now if you're between the ages of, I would say, 18 to maybe 25, Glenwood, I mean, I shouldn't discriminate in terms of age at all. Anyone could really enjoy Glenwood. However, it's a really big crowded scene, so I would say more or less if you don't like crowds, maybe Glenwood at night is not somewhere you try to navigate to. You can even check out downtown Durham. And if you want to go to Chapel Hill, you can even go check out Franklin Street. So these are some of the few areas that you can kind of go check out and see, where do the locals even hang out when they are in or near Raleigh, North Carolina. Another good question I think you could ask is, hey, what's your favorite park that isn't crowded? I mean, there's a ton of them around, so a lot of people will give you different answers, but my answer will be Polynice Park. Polynice Park, reason because it's really close to downtown. It's the proximity of downtown and other areas, NC State, it's relatively close. Not only that, but you have like a pond right in the middle of it where you can just kind of sit around it. If you like to read, I mean, I think it's a great place to go out there and just go read, or if you just want to kind of woosah. Woosah! Woosah! You know, do one of those, then yes, that's a great place where you could do that as well, because it's not a lot of people that go there for events per se. It's more people just walking, kind of doing their daily exercise, and doing that kind of thing. You can also ask someone, hey, what is the hidden gem in the city? Now this one, I'm gonna say, is my hidden gem that is near Raleigh. It's not particularly in Raleigh, and it's very new. It's Fenton. I just visited not too long ago, and I was like, man, this thing is going to be insane. Granted, nothing is set in stone there just quite yet. Everything is still developing. So I was able to speak to one of the clerks there, and they were kind of giving me a little bit more information on, hey, what's going to come. And after seeing that and after speaking with the individual, I was like, wow, this might be the spot where everyone goes to. So right now, it's the hidden gem. Once everybody finds out about it, it's no longer going to be a hidden gem. It's probably going to be the popular place in town to go hang out. So definitely keep that in mind. It's a hidden gem now, but I can almost guarantee you it's not going to be a hidden gem later, and that is Fenton again. Last but not least, you know, what's your favorite bar? What's your favorite locally owned boutique or restaurant? Or, you know, I don't have a favorite locally one right now. I try different things. I love the environment here. I just love the atmosphere that Raleigh, North Carolina gives me. If I were to give you one though, because I am a big, you know, bourbon drinker, I like my drinks, you know. Don't fault me now. I like my drinks. I would say Level 7 is one of the top tier places that I like to, just because the environment. It's in North Hills. It gives you that luxury feel of things. You can kind of get a view of North Hills in itself. But even if you didn't want to be at Level 7, you have other places that you can go to within walking distance. So that's why I love it. It's not only because of being able to drink, but I have the ability to go to other places and, you know, do other things at the same time. Next, you're going to want to gather as much information as possible. Now, again, kudos to you for even doing this, for even listening to this video here today, because that's essentially what this video is here to provide to do, is to give you a little bit more information on what it's like to live, what it's like to move to Raleigh, North Carolina. And in addition to that, that's what's going to help you understand this area a little bit more, especially if you're not locally and you can't just put your boots on the ground and kind of identify the area in itself. I know when I moved here, I lived off of Google Maps. I promise you, like, I was on Google Maps practically every day, finding what is there to do and just kind of researching more and more. And I did it a little too late, you know. Sorry. I mean, I did it when I did it. I don't regret the move, so I don't really feel bad about it. But that's why I really want you guys to do that research and, hey, look at the Google Maps. And even if you don't want to do the Google Maps aspect, watch these videos. These videos are intended here to help you, but you also have, you know, meetup apps that you can kind of take a look at. Eventbrite, a lot of events are posted on there, so you can even get a feel, right? Even if you're not attending those events, don't feel left out, because you're probably not the only one doing that. But the Meetup app in itself can help you identify, hey, what do people do to meet up with each other and kind of get together. I know you'll see a lot of, you know, volleyball events there, maybe even basketball, a lot of sporting events, I would say, to say the least, maybe even, you know, fishing events. There's a ton of different things that you're going to be able to find in that app in itself to help you understand and gather information of, all right, what are some things to really do in that area. So I would definitely say that Meetup app is going to be really, really helpful. Now, in terms of events, Eventbrite is going to be your best friend. Just go on Eventbrite and just search up, you know, Raleigh, North Carolina, and you're going to see a ton of events, because that's where a lot of events go on and people go register there. So you can even get a feel of there, like, hey, you know, if I were to be home on the weekend, what event is there that I could potentially even attend to? So that gives you another idea. I think gathering as much information as possible is only going to soothe that decision making of if this is a place that you want to be. And I think you can even get a feel of, hey, you know, are the type of events there an event that you would even go to? Because I will be honest, if it's not an event you're gonna go to, and better yet, you see that on a consistent level, consistent basis, then maybe you really shouldn't consider Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you move here, even if if you don't feel as if you should be here. But if you feel as if all the events are really, you know, things that you would like, you would vibe out to, and you would kind of enjoy, then yeah, move here. I'm waiting. We're all waiting, because there's a ton more people coming here, and there's a ton more people moving here on a consistent basis. Also, with gathering as much information as possible, it will help you understand the layout of Raleigh, North Carolina in itself, right? So you'll be able to understand, you know, how long maybe it takes to take yourself from point A to point B, whether it be bus, whether it be your car, whether it be Lyft or Uber. I don't know. However you like to transport yourself from point A to point B, that can give you a good understanding of how that even looks like, because the Google map provides you with something beautiful, which you can actually go on there and kind of put in real life time, you know, hey, how long is it going to take from point A to point B? So you're definitely doing that, and that's part of the gathering information. You know, you do have public transportation, but not everybody likes it. You do have Lyft and Uber, but not everybody wants to take it, because sometimes most people have their own vehicles and own cars. This is, I will say, a heavily dependent on your own vehicle state. There is other ways of transportating, but you're gonna want your own vehicle here, simply because not all the things are gonna happen as often, as quickly as you may think or like. It's not like your Charlotte, it's not like your New York, it's not like, you know, I'm trying to think of other places that have, you know, high public transportation. It's not set up that way. So definitely you're gonna be heavily car dependent on yourself and whatever it is that you do to provide yourself from transportation from point A to point B. Even the train. I mean, the train in itself. Yes, there's a train that comes in and out of Raleigh. I've taken it once, and that was to go to Charlotte, and I'm gonna tell you now, never again am I taking that train to go to Charlotte. It was not a bad experience. It's just, it was not what I wanted. It was hot, it was muggy on that, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just not an experience that I wanted. But if that's your only way of transportating from Raleigh to Charlotte, then yes, you're gonna have to do what you have to do. But I will say, if you can, please, 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 get in your vehicle and enjoy yourself, enjoy your ride, and do it that way, because it is not a fun experience. At least that my experience wasn't fun, and I just want everything to be fun. If I could, I would. And there's also, of course, we have the airport, which you can also have that as transportation as well. And understanding, hey, where does this airport even have destinations to? Because this is a growing airport as well. This is part of gathering that information, right? Use me as much as you can, but anyways, that airport is going to certain destinations. It's not going across the entire world as often and as much as international, as much as like your JFK leaving from LA. You know, it's in the works in terms of the airport. So you're not gonna go to everywhere as often as, you know, non-stops. You're not gonna experience that, I'll tell you that now. So that's part of that research aspect that I'm saying, hey, doing it is important, because it gives you an understanding of what to expect when you get here. This one that I'm about to talk about right now is a really big one. It's one that, I mean, everybody can do. There's really zero excuse here, and that's finding connection. Trust me, I am pretty sure you have them. Even if you're telling me right now, well, Ronnie, I don't know anybody that lives in North Carolina. Better yet, I don't even know anybody that lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. Trust me, you know someone, and if you don't know someone, you know someone that knows someone that knows someone, and I can keep going and going and going. But I think finding a connection here that's already in Raleigh, North Carolina is going to be really helpful to your search, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are saying like, man, I don't know anybody, and that's probably what's holding you back from even moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. So get ahead of the game, right? What better way is there to do that than just to use what we all have at our disposal, social media? I mean, if you don't personally know somebody may know someone, and just make a post. Put it out there. Hey, I'm looking for somebody that lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and see what you get back. You may not get anything back immediately, but if you do, even better. Because I will say, if you don't get anything back at all, there are a ton of Facebook groups out there of people that are actually getting together, because again, this is a state that's attracting people every single day. Every day somebody's moving here. So there's groups on Facebook that you can find and incorporate yourself in those groups in itself to see, hey, is there somebody that you actually like that's in that group in itself? Now, of course, that's going to take time. So all the stuff that I'm saying is things that you can do over the course of X amount of days, months, weeks, whatever your timeline is, to better assist you on your move, to make your smooth and transitional one, which I think is one that most people don't ever experience unless if they prepare themselves. And this is part of one of the things of preparing yourself is going to take, is finding a connection, someone that you can immediately land in that city, land in Raleigh, North Carolina, and say, I'm going to go meet X for the first time. And I think that right there is going to catapult your experience here in Raleigh, North Carolina even more, because now you're not forced to make friends when you get here. And we all know, as young adults, as adults, it's not easy making friends. The older you get, the harder it gets to make friends. Now, this one, you guys may think I'm pretty crazy for saying this one, but getting lost in a city. I regret not doing that. I really do. Because that would have enabled me to get a better feel of the city in itself. Because, I mean, we can read all the articles, we can watch all the informational videos, we can listen to other people make recommendations on good places, bad places, places that they recommend going, trying to eat, or whatever the case may be, taking all the notes, pinpointing all these things. But there's no better way to understand a city than to really get the feel of it and to be able to walk the streets, talking to random strangers, seeing people wave to you, you know, walking through the neighborhoods to get a feel of, you know, what do people even do there, seeing people doing their exercise, their daily exercise, whether it's just walking or, you know, riding a bike through the neighborhood, the city, whatever it is, or better yet, walking and getting the good old smell of baked goods and walking into that bakery business and understanding who the business owner is and having a conversation with that, to walk out and say, wow, that was an amazing conversation with that person, right? Those are the things that you just can't get from reading or taking all the notes or informational videos. You can hear about the stories, but experience is a whole nother lesson, is a whole nother teacher in itself. I mean, Google was my best friend, and I mean, I got lost in Google Maps, but I still did not understand the feel of it. So I will definitely say getting lost in a city is one of the things I really regret doing, and I recommend you guys, whoever's watching this, if you're thinking about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, get lost. Don't be afraid. I mean, in the end, we still all have our cell phones, so are you really getting lost, or are you just temporarily getting lost to then navigate yourself back to where you need to be once you just pull up your phone? And, you know, we all have a GPS in our phone, so, you know, you won't really get lost, but you'll get lost. Last but not least, I can't say this one enough, man. Reach out to your local expert and just seek for help, seek for guidance. It's okay. I mean, it's one of the best ways to do it, and it's gonna help with your stress levels, your experience, because now you're not putting on all that work. Somebody else has already done that work for you. I mean, you'll be surprised. A lot of cities are now competing a lot more than ever for new residents, and they're finding strategic, proactive ways to really bring new people in for several different reasons. I mean, now we all get to work from home. We get work from practically anywhere. So every city now understands that, and they want to bring the dollars to their city, their state, whatever the case may be. So more than ever, you're going to hear people talk about the pros, the cons, the things that they like, they dislike. You're going to hear that. So understand that reaching out to your local expert is going to be really helpful. I have actually 3 or 4 provided links in the description below which talk about North Carolina in itself, not even just Raleigh. But if you want to find out about Raleigh, the best one I recommend checking out in the description again is visitraleigh.com. That is going to be your best friend when you're wanting to know more about Raleigh, Wake County, and what that does have to offer to you. But how can I just give the credit and resources to everybody else? You know, of course, reach out to me too. Give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day and night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. I mean, oh man, I almost discredited myself. How could I manage to even do such a thing? That wasn't planned. I was just thinking about it. I said, wait, I gave credit to visitraleigh.com, but I didn't even give credit to myself. So yes, of course, if you do want any information, make sure you give me a call, text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Just remember, I got your back in this market. You know, to end things off here though, I really want you guys to hold on to the sense of discovery, or even the sense of curiosity, because that has what helped me a ton get through this city. Get through this city, even learn a little bit more about the city in itself. Is just always seeking to find out, you know, what is the new, not even the new thing, but what else is there to do in the city? What else is there to do in the state? I mean, North Carolina, if you look at the map, North Carolina is huge. you're not gonna ever be bored. You're not gonna ever do everything because there's always something new to do. So I would always say, man, as to end the snow off, it's understand why you even moved here in the first place, and always build that reason of curiosity and discovery of wanting to find, you know, the new best place, or the new place that you can go check out with yourself, your friends, your family, whoever it is that's just tagging along with you. With that being said, peace out.